31st and beyond.
The flightmare continues as thousands of travelers strive to get home or just anywhere.
We're trying to fly home, but that's not looking like it's happening.
Gotta have some patience around this time, I suppose, but wow, that's pretty ridiculous.
And with airlines trying to get back on track, what we are learning could be the problem at Southwest. The airline seeing the most delays and cancellations.
This is not a staffing issue. This is a systems issue.
Plus, new information tonight on how many migrants are finding refuge here in Denver.
It's more than just numbers. It is real people.
And how one volunteer is looking beyond the statistics and at those at the center of the crisis.
And what's next for the Denver Broncos after firing head coach Nathaniel Hackett? Plus, who else is now out of a job on the coaching staff?
First tonight, it's been days now since that deadly winter storm swept through Colorado before impacting the rest of the country. And airlines claim they are still trying to play catch up as thousands of travelers are stranded in airports or working on other means to get where they're going.
I've had somewhere between 5 and 8 flights canceled over a 10-hour span, been on a flight and deplaned. So my current plan is I'm in a car heading to Palm Springs, 2.5 hours or so away, traffic willing, to fly out of Palm Springs tomorrow morning to be back in Denver.
And that was our own Broncos insider Troy Rank, who is trying to get home from Los Angeles. Late this afternoon, our assignment editor drove 13 hours from Dallas and still made it to work.
That's commitment. Thank you very much. Also, other colleagues are making cross-country drives, catching trains. And just before the newscast, I checked with FlightAware, and it shows more than 19,000 total delays, more than 5,700 total cancellations. DIA alone saw 520 delays and 470 cancellations.
And take a look at this. I found Southwest is the airline with the most cancellations today at 70%. And that means 2,890 trips were a no-go. And DIA also topped the list with the most cancellations for both origin and destination airports.
Denver 7's Rob Harris live at DIA at baggage claims specifically. So we saw these photos. Actually, they're there on the left. People's luggage just sitting all around these grounded planes today. What a mess.
Yeah, and Shannon, I want to show you the line right over here. I want to tell you, this is the shortest I've seen the line go into the baggage claim office, and it still constitutes hours of waiting ahead for these folks. And many of them have waited in several lines at this point, each hours long, just trying to find out where their baggage even is, let alone when they might get to it. Department of Transportation says they're now looking into this to see if Southwest has violated any rules and if this could have been avoidable. And keep in mind, what you're seeing right now is just a fraction of the overall travel headache for Southwest passengers across the country.
It's just chaotic.
Thousands of Southwest passengers have 2 travel disasters on their hands right now. They're stuck here after their flights were canceled, but they're being told their bags will be sent to their final destination anyway.
And as they were loading the bags, they canceled our flight, and that was 4 days ago. And we've called and called. No one's returned a phone call. We have no idea where our bags are.
Southwest Airlines declined an interview with us, but in a statement told us that the winter storm last week is still impacting their operations in a significant way. And the quote, "We recognize falling short and sincerely apologize."
The last few days have been absolutely horrible days for Southwest Airlines flight attendants, some of the worst in our history.
The president of the union representing Southwest flight attendants isn't buying the excuse of the winter storm. She says they've been warning about issues with the airline's crew scheduling system for a while now, way before the cancellations due to weather.
This is not Winter Storm Elliot's fault. This is archaic technology that Southwest Airlines executives need to modernize. Southwest Airlines flight attendants are so tired of telling Southwest Airlines customers that we are sorry. We are truly sorry, but we are in the midst of what you're going through as well. Southwest Airlines has not done enough to make it right for its customers or its employees.
So it's unclear at this point just how long it's going to take for Southwest Airlines to sift through all of the passengers and the baggage that needs to get to its final destination. And unfortunately, headaches probably are far from over because the CEO of Southwest Airlines told Wall Street Journal tonight that they're expecting up to 2/3 of flights tomorrow and Wednesday to be canceled as well. Amy?
What a mess. Thank you. Well, we know there are lots of questions when it comes to refunds, reuniting with your luggage, and even where to leave your complaints. The first stop should be the airline you are traveling with. Now, a second place to check is the Aviation Consumer Protection website. The U.S. Department of Transportation recently brought back the dashboard. There you can find resources that can help during the travel nightmare.
The Colorado Avalanche Information Center warning of avalanche dangers tonight. A snowboarder had triggered one on Berthoud Pass, was caught in it, and was killed. And I want to take a look now at the danger scale. You can see there are areas with moderate risk, low risk, but those are expected to get worse tomorrow. CAIC says dangerous avalanches can be triggered on wind-loaded slopes steeper than about 30 degrees. Officials say avoid the easterly facing slopes directly below ridge tops to lower your risk of avalanche.
Thornton police still haven't identified the man and woman who died outside the Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall. Officers say a man shot his wife and then killed himself yesterday morning. Police say 3 devices described as similar to a pipe bomb were thrown through the windows of the hall. The Adams County Sheriff's Office Hazardous Material Unit is examining them.
Well, tomorrow marks 1 year since a gunman killed 5 people and injured 2 others. Now, this started in Denver. It ended with a shootout with police near the Belmar Shopping Center in Lakewood. Police say the officer who shot and killed the gunman was among those hit, but survived. During an investigation, officials learned the suspect had ties with the tattoo businesses he attacked and carried out actions he described earlier in books he wrote.
New video from this weekend shows several busloads of migrants dropped off in Washington, D.C. in front of Vice President Kamala Harris's home. At the time, temperatures were around 18 degrees. One group already helping with migrants sent to D.C. says it was ready for their arrival.
And Denver says this city has helped about 2,300 migrants since December 9th. As of this morning, 656 were getting help in city emergency shelters, 622 finding refuge in partner emergency setups. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon joins us now in the newsroom on the governor's response to migrants coming to our state. And Colette, more help is needed here.
In a statement, Governor Jared Polis says he's working to expand shelter capacity, saying the emergency management team is prepping for this effort to span across the entire state. That statement continues to say $2.5 million of state funds will be used for those who need shelter during this cold Colorado weather. Meanwhile, I spoke with a local volunteer who spent his Christmas serving the families working to start a new life.
We have a big family dinner here at this table.
Just past the ornaments
It is a million stories.
is where Ricky Cardenas says memories are made.
This Christmas was particularly special.
Yes, it was.
Around this table were special guests, immigrants from Venezuela he met a few months ago, now better known as friends.
When you meet people and when you look them in the eye, you see beyond the statistics and the numbers and the charts. You realize that, oh my gosh, if I hadn't been born where I was born, I could be in that position.
His friends, his inspiration to spend the last 2 days volunteering, helping migrants arriving in Denver.
We, as a family, we feel that it is our duty. It's not an option. It's that we must.
So when dinner was served here on Christmas night,
That's when the rubber hits the road. That's when
the volunteering stopped.
it truly becomes human. That's when you say, oh my gosh, I could be in your shoes. The conditions in their country are so harsh, and the American dream is so big that they don't mind risking everything.
Stepping up to the plate and celebrating the commonalities they share for people who feel like family.
I don't have a solution for this. All that we can do is help in any way we can.
Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Well, new tonight, more people being bucked off the coaching staff after the Denver Broncos fired head coach Nathaniel Hackett.
Our Lionel Bienvenu joins us now as he continues to follow what's next after today's staffing shakeup. Lionel.
Yeah, Amy and Shannon, late tonight the Broncos fired special teams coordinator Dwayne Stukes and offensive line coach Butch Barry, and there's many more to come off the staff, as the Broncos are now looking for their 4th head coach in the last 6 years. Hackett fired. That is simply mind-boggling for a once stable championship franchise. John Elway struck out on Vance Joseph and Vic Fangio, and now George Payton has whiffed on Nathaniel Hackett. In baseball, that's 3 strikes and out. But we'll see what new owner and CEO Greg Penner does in his first at-bat. Everybody loved Nathaniel, even the new owners. As you can see, he's a nice guy full of energy and excitement. But nice guys finish last in the NFL if you don't win. And the Broncos were the laughing stock of the league. And after yesterday, one of the most embarrassing losses in Broncos history, it was over. You could hear it in Hackett's voice in his last press conference as head coach.
Everybody's frustrated. That was a bad game, embarrassing game. It's the first one that we've had like that. And so I know everybody's frustrated and that this was an entire team loss. Nobody played good enough to win. It's across the board, whether it's the offense or defense. So we talked about that. We addressed that, said it was me too. I have to do a better job coaching. All the coaches have to do a better job coaching. Everybody's got to do better because we can't have that happen. That was not good.
Sounds like a disaster to me. Greg Penner said in a statement today, I will lead our head coaching search with support from our ownership group and George Payton, whom I have confidence in as our general manager. Now, that little vote of confidence in Payton, yeah, that's on paper-thin ice. Payton made the mistake with Hackett, Russell Wilson, Randy Gregory, and many more. Now, names like Dan Quinn, Frank Reich, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, all coming up today, and many more of those to come after the season ends as well. We'll hear from our Broncos insider Troy Renck coming up later in sports.
A warm day on the way for tomorrow, low 60s, but I also have our next chance of snow in the 7-day.
Plus, as we approach the 1-year anniversary of the Marshall Fire,
devastating to just not even have any relief, that no one's there to help you pick up the pieces.
We take a closer look at how we continue to cover the story that changed hundreds of lives and even how we tried to give back.
I'm just so grateful because their gifts are making a difference in our lives.